Hi there, I'm Joyce the Voice, and I want to show you my new copy of George Magazine, and I am so thrilled. I don't have a subscription, but now I think I'm going to subscribe. I've been looking online at it. It's been in publication now for a year. This is issue 12. And if you know anything about George Magazine, it was out in the 90s for a few years. And it was stopped shortly after John F. K. Jr. His passing at that time. So I want to show you a few things. It has its wonderful texture. It's like a satiny, rubbery, warm feeling. You know those business cards like that. And I want to show you the articles in it. All right. So there's more articles that are in it than are listed here on the cover. But A Loving Father up here. Even When We Fail by Pastor Bob Joyce. This is his second article for George Magazine. And I am so excited because I've been following him for a few years now. And he's wonderful. And I will show you why in a few. So, of course, this is like Secret Agent Man on the cover, Conspiracy or Fact. Right? All right. So, here, let me hold it straight for you. Could an unelected president and vice president be in office at the same time again? The deep state behind the deep state. Q. Is Earth really doomed? No. Ballot harvesting. How political parties can use it to cheat the vote. Examining the CDC's COVID response actions. Coercion, deception, and censorship. And what could unite a divided America? And interview with Terrell Owens. And like I said, there's other articles in here. It is such high quality. If it was in a reception office, like on a coffee table, it would grow legs. It is something so valuable that people will want to keep it. It's like a Time magazine. You don't leave those laying around. It's not like a, rag. It's very high quality. As soon as you open the cover, who do you see is my man, Pastor Bob Joyce. And he's promoting his materials, his sermons and music, and his album, and My Living Shall Not Be in Vain. Because if you know who this pastor is, he does all his own music as well. He's an old-time musician. And he's fabulous. You don't know any pastors who do the music as well as an hour sermon without notes. And an impromptu break into song of the old school hymns that he loves. And he's amazingly talented, and we all know who he is. Secret Agent Man. Even witnesses for God need protection. Even Saul changed his name to Paul for God, right? So, Abraham. If you look at my Elvis in My Head video, you might see more. And then, who dat? Who dat on Mount Rushmore? Well, you know who that is? That's John F. K. Jr. I know who that is. And I'll tell you more about that one too. Because Mount Rushmore is key. Now, Gene Ho, who was the photographer for Trump for his campaign, also is chief editor of this magazine. Editor-in-chief. I'm not sure of titles and how they work and what people do. He was Trump's photographer. He did a whole picture spread at Mount Rushmore on 4th of July with Trump and a secret guest during that campaign stop on 4th of July before he became president. Same thing for John F. K. Jr. before he passed. 2 weeks before his last interview with Katie Couric, he was with Time magazine and they took pictures of him there. So why do I think this is significant? Well, first of all, Gene says watch Mount Rushmore. Then I know because I worked on a project with John. And how do I know this? Well, I didn't sign an NDA. I didn't sign a non-disclosure agreement. If he did make me sign an agreement, I would have to know who he was. And I don't have that privilege to know who he was, but I was an op. He worked with me under the alias of Pastor Mark, and I will be telling more about that later on another video that I'm currently working on right now. I want to get it right. And so I wrote the song. I did the words. Nothing he told me to put into the song. It was all based on my Q knowledge and stuff and what I knew deep down and other things, which I'll tell more about in the video. Then when he heard the song, he loved it and he wanted to make the video to it. He did all the graphics. And he inserted Mount Rushmore in that video, as well as other surprises. But Mount Rushmore was symbolic. Even Rudy Giuliani uses Mount Rushmore in his thumbnail for his YouTube channel. So there were 2 copies of George magazine from the 90s that had Mount Rushmore in the back. Also, 2 copies? No. 1 copy from the 90s, and 1 copy in the past year. One with Kim Clement, and the other one was from the 90s. With Mount Rushmore in the background, because it's symbolic. It's a clue. If you follow Q, you follow George. The other thing was Trump was on a cover of one of the magazines in the 90s, as well as currently. And not as president, obviously, because it only came out a year ago, and Trump has been out of office for a few years, or that office, let's put it that way. So anyway, I just want to say the quality of this is so wonderful. Everybody should get this. So I mean, there's so many articles in here. That was Pastor Bob's. Watch the advertisements. There's like a cryptic phone, a credit card. Watch who are the people who are actually going to take out whole page ads on this. Like, watch and see who's behind this, and if what kind of corporations are actually putting money in behind truth, because this is going to be history. They're publishing other magazines, papers, online media. It's all owned by the same conglomerates. Even school textbooks and universities, it's all been infiltrated, like the courts, like the politicians, corporations. They've all been infiltrated with the agenda, people. And but this is truth, and it's going to turn history on its side because it's in print and it's hard copy. Digital, they can always change, shut down, burn. This is harder to collect if everybody has a copy. Subscribe, because this year is going to be a dynamic, amazing year, and this is going to be the proof of what this year was all about. This is going to be the true history, and within a year, less than a year, we're going to see the light, and we're going to have birthing pains before that, before the great big gift. But that's the same with anything, any major change. There's always going to be birthing pains. The Bible has millions of scripture on birthing pains and the renewal on the other side. This is what we're going to have to be. We got through COVID. We can get through the next less than a year. Maybe not 2023 for sure, but 2024. It's coming. It's palpable. So it's going to hit a precipice, and then something's going to happen. So get your copy, get your subscription. It's going to be great. It's going to be worth money someday. It's just a wonderful magazine. I love it. It just, everything that I knew from Q is coming true. So follow it. buy it.